we're going to take you to Times Square where all the action is happening tonight. Charli James is back with us inside the Times Square studio where tonight's show will be taking place. Hey girl, oh yes, you got all geared up.
So much fun.
So what's happening there now?
I can't tell if you guys have. Yeah, I think I actually have the best seat in the house right now. So right behind me is 42nd Street. I can see the ball from here, and I got myself these snazzy glasses. I can't see you guys. Do you guys have some great hats or something on? You should.
Oh, we are totally geared up. We've got glasses.
I'm putting on my
I
glasses.
have a tiara somewhere
Got this.
that I'm sure I will put on. Hey, but Charli, while you're there, I know you did not go there without doing your homework. Can you lay a little bit of knowledge on us? Give us some background about Times Square and the history of New Year's Eve right here in New York.
And the ball. I want to hear about the 12,000-pound ball.
Yes.
Definitely, yeah, I sure can. So as you may or may not know, Times Square is named after the New York Times newspaper. And in 1904, the paper moved into Times Square, and to celebrate that, they threw a big party with fireworks in Times Square. And what happened was that how the ball came to be was that in 1906, they banned fireworks in New York City. And so not to have their party finished, they created, the publisher of the New York Times created a giant wooden and iron ball with a bunch of light bulbs attached to it and hoisted it up above Times Square and brought it down at midnight, and that's how that whole tradition started. Now obviously fireworks are no longer banned because we've already seen a bunch here tonight, and at midnight there's going to be a huge fireworks show as the ball comes down, but that tradition still lives today with the ball coming down the 130-foot flagpole at 11:59 p.m. And now we have as many as 1 billion people watching it across the world.
Wow, 1 billion people. I don't think I
did
knew
not know
that. That's incredible.
Did not know that. Did not know that for sure. So Charli, what's the latest going on there inside the studio? That's where all the action is going to be happening for most of tonight when the big show begins. What do you see? What's happening?
Yeah, so it's quiet right now. The show hasn't started, and there's actually multiple sets for this event. Many are outside where the musical performances will be, and where they can be out, and the host, Jenny McCarthy and Ryan Seacrest here in New York, can be out and about with the revelers, because that's a big part of New Year's Eve, is being with everyone. So let me see if I can give you a little look at the crowds here. All in hats, and a look at the ball right there. Definitely got a great seat right here. So
Charli, we
Ryan
seem to
will
be
be right here
losing
on
your
the
picture
set.
the closer you are to that window. Maybe if you want to move away, we can get you back. And there you are.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, so Ryan Seacrest will be right here to ring in the new year with millions of people across America who will be tuned in to watch.
And those nearly 1 million people, you toured us around some of them earlier. All the folks have been getting there early this morning, and some even last night, I think, just to stake their place for the big celebration. But let's get way ahead of ourselves. Now, for those folks who are watching all this and saying, man, I really want to do this next year, like this looks like a really fun time, how do they start preparing for next year's New Year's Eve if they want to be where you are?
Okay, so I do have some tips.
Okay.
If you, based off what I've heard from people here, I've got some tips for if you want to come down here. First of all would be to leave your bags at home, because the NYPD will not let you bring bags in. So no backpacks, no purses. So wear a coat with lots of pockets to fill stuff with. Another is make sure you eat a lot before you come, because there is not much in the way of food around here. There are restaurants, but if you leave your spot, that's it. You don't get to come back. So you don't want to be hungry and have that cause you to lose your amazing prime spot. You should make sure to come early. I talked to people who had been out here as early as 9, 10 a.m. So if you want to get a prime spot, you want to come super early in the morning, but also some of the spots further back near the stages are great. Like, it's further back there that you get to see the rehearsals and the performances live. So depending on if you want to have the best view of the ball or the best view of the stages, that's going to depend where you are. But honestly, you're going to have so much fun either way, because so much of this is about being with the crowd and being with this energy that everyone has. And lastly, I'd say dress comfortable. This is not the time to break out your new heels, ladies. This is the time to wear the most comfortable shoes you have, because you are going to be standing in one place for hours and hours and hours. So you don't want to be standing for 12 hours in your new heels.
So Charli, you can't take food in with you, but can you have a pizza delivered to your location? Do we know that?
So you can actually take food with you, but you can't bring a bag of food. So if you put snacks, if you line your pockets with snacks, you're perfectly fine. You can do that. We spoke to a guy earlier today who got a pizza, and he actually kind of snagged someone else's pizza that was on its way to a hotel, and he paid the guy to give him the pizza. But I think that if they're not doing this already, that pizza companies around Times Square need to be doing this, because there's definitely a business for people stuck in line to get pizzas delivered. You can probably make a pretty penny doing that.
The question is, can you fit a pizza into your pockets? I feel like that's the question that needs to be posed. How much room can you get?
How many times can you fold a pizza?
Absolutely. It's a totally reasonable question. Listen, Charli, before we let you go, give us a little bit of a tour around that studio. We've been looking over your shoulder most of this time, but let's take an inside, behind-the-scenes peek before the show begins tonight.
Okay, let me flip the camera around. So this is what you will see on TV, is this direction here, and there's a lovely little setup of some Happy New Year's gear and some, don't know if it's real champagne or not, but stunt champagne. But they built all this today. So when I arrived earlier today, earlier this morning, there was nothing here. This is a studio. It's the second floor of the GMA studio here in Times Square, and it's used for all different purposes. So this set was built just today, and this is what you'll see later on the Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve special with Ryan Seacrest is this. But then if you turn the camera around, there's of course tons of people and cameras behind the scenes that you don't get to see on TV, but that make it happen. So we've got people running back here that are running the scripts. The control room is through that door there, and then here is just a mountain of gear and audio equipment and managers and video screens that are showing what's going on. So it definitely, I mean, there's people that work on this all year round, so it definitely takes a village to make this special happen, and it's so worth it, because if you watch, you know, it's just hours and hours of shows and great entertainers, and so there's all these people who spend their New Year's Eve making sure that all the viewers at home have a great New Year's Eve of their own and get to see these performances and get to celebrate with with everyone here in New York Times, or in Times Square.
That is ABC's Charli James live for us inside the Times Square studio, where the big show tonight's Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve will be taking place. Charli, any parting words before we let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening? Anything you want to say to folks at the end of 2015 before we head into 2016?
Of course, Happy New Year, and I hope that you can stick to your resolutions, definitely. And Happy New Year to you, Amna, and to Olivia, and thank you to everyone that's been a part of this special tonight. And tune in to the New Year's Eve special, Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve.
Oh, thanks, Charli. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year, Charli.